1, 2, 3, 4.
Beautiful.
What's it called?
It was very difficult teaching this class last year virtually.
Corresponding sound to what they're doing. So today we're extending that. We opened in 2013 with 420 students. We now have closer to 2,800 students. And we're still growing, y'all. We still have lots to do. We opened with a budget of $3.6 million. Our budget today, and it's growing too, is $34 million. We were supposed to have a ribbon cutting in March of COVID year, is what I call it, March of COVID year. And the week after we were supposed to have our ribbon cutting, the week before that, we were shut down with COVID, so we had to cancel it. It would have been a totally different event, but I'm glad that those of you who are friends of Discovery are here today, and we'll have another event. I'm sure we'll have a gala. That too was canceled, so we'll be back in touch with you soon. We took advantage of bond financing in order to build this building on Jefferson Parish leased ground. Dr. Gray and all of the school board members who are here and school representatives, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing us to build this beautiful facility will be added on to, but this beautiful facility on your ground. They have been our partners throughout this, and we have a wonderful relationship with our school board, and we thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do, because I understand we're going to have some new things to say grace over before too long. We took advantage of a partnership with Ochsner. It was the first time that law, the partnership law in charter school, had ever been used in the state of Louisiana. It had been on the books a while, but nobody had tried to pick up the gauntlet and make it happen. So Ochsner, our partner, has been a great partner, and we have another ribbon cutting for our Dr. John Ochsner School coming up, and you'll all be invited to that. The shepherd of that effort at the Bond Commission, two of them are in this room. That would be the former Representative Julie Stokes. Thank you, Julie. And the former Senator Danny Martini. Thank you, Danny. Without the two of you, it wouldn't have happened. Okay, it is my great pleasure at this point in time to introduce somebody else who's been a big supporter. We all have our challenges, right? One of our most recent challenges was some parking issues and school pickup and all that. But when you have good partners, they help you work it out. With that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Ben Zahn. Thank you, Ben.
I think we should talk about how resilient this school is. I mean, we have been through a lot, right? The school has been through a lot, our residents, everyone has been through a lot, and also the city of Kenner. You talked about, Linda, about March of 2020, that the school was supposed to do its grand opening. It was supposed to open. You had that setback. Got back after about 6 months, maybe 5 months. Then we had a hurricane, Zeta, which couldn't even, it was in the Greek alphabet. We couldn't even name it. We had so many that year. And then we had another, y'all came back, then we had another surge of a pandemic. Then we had Ida. So y'all have been resilient. But all through those things, and I said this at your graduation in May, that it's important that y'all stick together and we stick with you all. Yeah, we've had our challenges. Everybody has had that. And we had the parking issue, and we've resolved that. We're going to resolve a lot of other things. Patty came to me shortly after we got that straightened out, and she talked about doing some type of real stadium for you all. That's absolutely next on the drawing board. So that is something we will absolutely work with. Councilman Brannigan, I know, has met with Patty. I think Councilwoman McKinney also met with Patty. I spoke with Patty about it. We will meet with you again. We will go with you to the state. We will make sure that that happens with you holding your hand. So you'll have myself and Councilman Brannigan, the councilman of the district, and I'm sure the two at-larges, and the whole Kenner City Council. And while I'm talking about Kenner City Council, I would like to say who is here today. We do have the council of the district. Councilman Brian Brennan's here with us. We have our councilman, sorry. Brian has been an asset to both of these schools right here on this corridor, St. Elizabeth down the street, also you all helping this administration, I know helping your administration move forward right here. We also have Councilwoman at Large, Christy McKinney is with us. Councilman of District 2, Mike Segura. Councilman of District 3, Glenn Hayes. And Councilman of District 4, George Browning, I'm sorry. When Ida hit, though, we wanted to talk about Henry Shane a little bit ago. We had that new challenge of putting your kids someplace, I think your kindergarten kids someplace. And Linda mentioned Henry Shane. Henry Shane, if it wasn't for Henry Shane, for the things that Linda has mentioned and things that he does and decorates this corridor and many corridors of the city of Kenner on our medians, he also, years ago, provided the Kenner Pavilion, which housed your kindergarten kids, that we were happy to do. But if he hadn't done that, we wouldn't be able to house your kids, because that was the only building not hit during Ida. So with all that said, let's just get past the things that have happened with all the storms and the pandemics and move forward. And as you see today, we are absolutely moving forward right here. So we are here as the city of Kenner. Our next, not challenge, our next project for you will be getting you some type of a stadium that y'all can use as a home stadium. So thank y'all.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Michael Kennedy, Jr., Director of Culture here at Discovery Schools. It's an honor and a privilege to stand here today to be a part of this. I have been with Discovery for 8 years. I came as the first Dean of Discovery years ago. I'd like to begin by saying home is where the heart is, and here at Discovery, heart is a big part of what we do. So it was just mentioned that there's a heart that's been placed by Mr. Shane right in front of the school. And that's important to us because we emphasize heart every day: honor, endurance, academic achievement, responsibility, and tolerance. 8 years ago, or maybe more than 8 years ago, I was invited to participate by Peggy Wooten, and my friend, who's also here in the audience. But she invited me because Discovery Schools needed to have a lottery, and they wanted some objective being to be a part of it, I guess. So they asked me to participate. I was working at another school, a charter school, in Jefferson Parish at the time. So I had been talked to about this school prior to that by Peggy's husband, who was working at the school that I was at previously. And I was like, I'm not interested in a health sciences school or anything. I'm really happy where I am. I was really not interested in going anywhere. So then I got the lottery invite, and I participated in the lottery. I made friends, as I always do everywhere, who are still my friend to this day here at the school from the lottery experience. It was a wonderful experience. Again, still not looking for an opportunity somewhere else. In June of that year, I believe it was the same year, I was separated from the job that I was at. And within one day, Peggy Wooten called and said, what are you doing? What do you have next? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's just my first day sitting at home. So I haven't really thought about that. I'm just going to see what's out there. And she said, Patty Glazer would like to meet with you, whose name I had heard previously about some coffee, having coffee. So she said, I'll give her your information and she can contact you. So Patty did that year, 2014. I came in, I interviewed with the principals at the time, which were Miss Kelly. Lynn Kelly was becoming the principal of the lower school, and Dr. Watson was already principal of middle school, along with Miss Preen. And so we had this meeting, is what it was called. It was the first week of June, which is the PD for the school every year for new faculty that's coming into the school. And so I came in, I met with them, got to walk around the campus, and then I was made an offer. I accepted the offer. It was for Dean of Students. So again, I had been a school leader, and this was really a step down, but it didn't matter because I enjoyed what I got from the interview experience that we had, and I knew that it was a great opportunity. But it was a lot of money that I was losing at the time. But that's okay. There are other things that are more important. But to really bring this to it, I don't want to take too much of your time. I've been here since that day, and it has been a tremendous experience. I was the dean of every year, just about. My job changed, or my office changed, or both changed. I was the dean of students for the entire school the first year. The second year, I was the dean of students for middle school, I think, and the next year. The following year, I was the co-director of high school with Miss Candace Schott, who's not able to be here because she's in training right now, but she's the principal of the high school. She was named principal of high school. I was named assistant principal. I didn't want to be a principal again, so I was okay with that. And we agreed that neither of us wanted to do it, but she did accept that role, and she's been a phenomenal principal here at the high school. So after that, last year, then I became the assistant principal of high school, and then last year I was the director of culture and assistant principal for high school. This year I'm just the director of culture, and so my entire job is centered around HEART, the letters that I talked about before. Those students that have been here from the beginning with us, those that have graduated, if you pulled any of them at any point in time and asked them, what does HEART mean at Discovery Schools, each of them could tell you what it means and give you an example of it around campus, because that was what my job was from the beginning, is to make sure that they were able to do that. And so it is an honor for me to still be here today doing the same thing, working through the staff members at each campus. Every week I get to go to each site and work with the principals and the deans to make sure that our culture of our school, whatever you experience, the change of class that you just saw happen, all of those things are things that I work towards making sure that it goes over seamlessly, or as seamlessly as possible, with the variables that we have, which are students that are middle-aged students, middle school students, lower school students, and high school students. So again, I will end the same way that I started. Home is where the heart is, and heart is what Discovery is. So Discovery is now home. Thank you.
Good morning. I hope everyone is well. Welcome to the official Kenner Discovery Health Sciences ribbon cutting ceremony. My name is Shay West, and I'm a senior involved in Student Council, Track, and National Honor Society. I began attending Kenner Discovery in 5th grade on the main campus in 2015. When my mom first brought up Kenner Discovery, she explained it as this brand new school with a great staff and the potential of a great education, so I was beyond excited. We started off as a small school, and I was looking forward to seeing where the future would bring us. All my teachers were helpful, and I was learning how to adjust to this big change in my life really well. During the remainder of my middle school years, we moved from campus to campus, but we always knew that there was this purpose for all of this in the end. In 2018, I remember sitting in geometry class on the Vintage campus right behind you guys, and all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I hear this really loud noise coming from across the lot. So my classmates and I rushed to look outside the window, and there was this 80-foot crane drilling pilings into the lot. My classmates and I patiently waited the construction of the new building and could not wait to enjoy the fruit of our patience and the hard work of our administration to build this campus. While my high school experience was cut short due to COVID, we pivoted to online learning during my junior year so we could stay safe, but also continue our education with the hard work of our teachers. All the patience in the world has been worth the wait. The night before my senior year, I sat on my bed and I said, please don't close the school after a week. Thankfully, things have gotten better, and we're all here learning in this beautiful building, and I'd like to think it's because of my wish. I remember walking onto this campus on the first day and thinking, oh my gosh, I get to go to this school now every day. In this warm and welcoming new library, I'm excited about reading and researching my papers for my dual enrollment class. I'm thrilled about doing experiments in the science labs with high-tech equipment to deepen my knowledge of the sciences. I love being able to cook and bake in our ProStart kitchen. In the Oshner Simulation Lab, we are learning about CPR training, first responder techniques, and important medical experiences with state-of-the-art equipment to build a career in health sciences. The artwork on campus brings life in the halls and inspires us to learn. And it doesn't just stop at academics here. Kenner Discovery offers every club, sport, and extracurricular activity you could possibly want, and the administration is always open for suggestions to build all of our programs. Thank you to Dr. Glazer, the board of directors, and our faculty and staff for giving us the education and support we need for a successful future. And with heart, I'd like to close with, welcome to Kenner Discovery.
Well, so many people to recognize and thanks. This has not been easy, but it's come a long way. I just wanted to tell you a little bit of how the school got started. 10 years ago, I met with the mayor of Kenner at that time, and we were talking about a decline in population. Kenner has declined in population ever since 1990. That was our biggest year. We were 72,000 people. In 2000, we were 70,000 people. In 2010, we were 65,000 people. So that's when I met with the mayor, and I said, Mayor, we got to do something to stop the decline in population. And at the time, he said, I can't even bring that to the council. No one's going to want to talk about a decline in population. It's just not the thing you do when you're addressing members of the community. So I said, well, I'll put up a little bit of seed money and we'll do a study of why people are not moving to Kenner. And that's how this came about. We did the study, and one of the biggest things in the study was lack of a identity, beautification, and the other big thing was public school education and what people thought about it at the time. And it was it wasn't a wake-up call. We kind of knew about these items, but you know, we completed the study and everything went along well. And so I said, well, I'll try to help with beautification. And that's when I started the sculptures. And then to take on a school, which I knew nothing about schools other than I would to the school board members about schools and try to do, but I knew nothing about schools. So, but I did know to be successful in everything, you got to get together a real team of dedicated people. And that's what happened to me. I asked Kenner residents, I think there were maybe 10 of us, to become involved and try to do a school. By the way, the population of, I should have told you, it's back, it didn't decline anymore. And what happened in 2010, they said we'd be 60,000 people. That's the projections for the city of Kenner. It was just literally going to become like a ghost town. So we haven't declined. We're maintaining a population. I think that this school is one of the factors that did that, because I meet people all the time saying, I bought a house in Kenner. I didn't move out of Kenner, you know, because of this school. So it has worked tremendously to stem what looked like a road to decline in population. So I know we still got a lot of work to do, because I think we'll see more growth in Kenner. The lots are all filling up. We've got a plan to bring in as many as a couple thousand people or more to a new project we're going to build. So anyhow, that back to I didn't want to let everybody believe Kenner's still declining with the mayor sitting here. So, but I asked this, and I was told, I go back to the time one time I was in charge of a new stadium for the state of Louisiana, and I met with Tom Benson to discuss. I was the chairman of that committee, and I was talking to him about Super Bowl and stuff like that, and he says, well, we got to get a Super Bowl team because once you get a Super Bowl team, everybody wants to play for the Super Bowl team. And I think that's what's happened here in our school. We got everybody wants to play and help this school out because it's at that level. It's a Super Bowl team. And the artwork, the student mentioned it, but you know, when we have over $1 million of original artwork in this school. And when I was told, I called the director of the Ogden Museum and I told him I was putting in artwork in a school, and he said, that's the craziest thing you ever want to do. The kids will tear it apart, they'll lean against it, they'll tear it with books as they walk by, and Patty says, not in our school. And so if God willing and I live long enough, this is going to become an art museum in addition to a great school. So, you know, what can I say? But the board of directors has been tremendous. The leadership has been tremendous. I never, ever, and I think all of us on the original board, never, ever thought we'd be a school of this size. We were just trying to bring a little bit of charter school into the city of Kenner, and 400 or 500 students would have been really nice, I guess, because, you know, we see it today and you say, my goodness, how did this get to this level? But the board has been really working hard, and we've had a leader who, you know, takes us beyond where we think we can go. I mean, I know that when we were talking about even building new schools, I was saying, well, why don't we just remodel buildings and stay where we are? So, but Patty does that, and she's been really, I guess, the leader of a Super Bowl team to get us to where we are now, and she doesn't stop. She's talking about the next phase of school and the next school to be built. So it's amazing to us. But I want to, again, end by thanking the board, who has put in so many times. I'm looking at Wayne Thomas. I think he spent a year more of his life working through the problems of building this school. So thank you, Wayne, and thanks, Jim Hudson. When I guess I better stop with Jim because I'll go around. Everybody deserves thanks. But we had to find about $320,000 of seed money. And Jim and I went around and tried to raise that money, and we were successful in the start. So I just want to thank my board again, all the members of the school board that are here today, all the members of the Kenner Council. It takes everybody working together to get where we are today. And we got more to do, so we're going to continue to need your help. Now, I have a surprise for Patty, since I talked about the Super Bowl and everything. And I know what Tom Benson said, you know, you got to play for a Super Bowl team, and it looks like, so I got her a Super Bowl ring.
Super Bowl ring, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patty.
My own Super Bowl ring. This is exciting. Let's see, there you go. Okay. So in a way, the postponement worked well. Palmazzana handed the building over to us in February of 2020, and we were all excited. We had this move-in plan where we were going to move in administration first and then the seniors, right, Michael? And then keep going from there, and the governor closed off schools March 13th, 2020. We had over 200 people that had signed up to come to the ribbon cutting, which I believe was scheduled March 20th of 2020. So that didn't work well, but today it works because we now have a band that greeted you all, a dance team, a cheer squad. We have 2 or 3 cheer squads last I checked, and a winning football team and a winning volleyball team and great academics. So you all got to witness some of that, and we really appreciate it. And speaking of Danny Martini, all the Martinis work for us. Senator Martini particularly, when we were going through the bond approval for this building. And Michael didn't say this, but Catherine Martini is the one who sat next to him at that first lottery.
She talked his arm off. And I said to her, Catherine, we want him. She goes, don't worry, I got it. And she had it. So the whole Martini family works for Discovery. I love that. And only one's on the payroll, Catherine. And Mayor, you made my day today. A stadium, yay. That's what we're hoping for, yay. Coach Fisher, did you hear that? I did. Thank you. Coach Fisher is both our athletic director as well as our Pro Start director. And all of the food today, please taste some before you leave. It was prepared by our students in the Pro Start program, which is a certification program for kids to work in restaurants, to cook. They learn to plate it, everything. I should name everyone in this room because everyone in this room helped us get to where we are. It definitely takes a village, and I could go through each one of you individually and say what contribution you've made, and it's been remarkable. Shay, I miss your grandfather today. I hear he's in Florida. Shay's mother and grandfather attended every opening session we had, every single one. And the grandfather took copious notes of everything I'm saying, and he'd come show me after and say, if you don't live up to this, I have it down written in notes. So he's always invited to everything, and sometimes Shay comes too. And then there's Ochsner. And Ochsner as a partner, yes, it did break records through the state because we finally took advantage of that charter corporate partnership. And as I like to say, Ochsner is the gift that keeps on giving. So if we get together and brainstorm with them and say, gosh, we'd like to have a sim lab where kids can learn pre-nursing skills and go straight into a nursing program, Ochsner says, we can do that for you. And it's here, and you can see it on the tour, and I suggest you do see it on the tour. It's an amazing sim lab. And then we say, I think we're ready to replicate, and Ochsner goes, we'll be there with you. And so we have the Dr. John Ochsner School, which hopefully you'll be back at that ribbon cutting sometime soon. Dr. Gray, Chad, Dr. Brumley, school board people in the back, I see y'all back there. I do think Jefferson Parish School Board and Discovery has raised the bar for authorizer school partnerships throughout the state, and I'm very, very proud of that. I call them when we have an issue. We get together, we brainstorm, we collaborate, and we come up with solutions. So thank you for being here, and thank you for having that partnership with us. And as he likes to do, Dr. Brumley's taking a big-time back seat right now. And he is, after all, our state superintendent and was a Jefferson Parish superintendent, so I think we should recognize him at least. We are proud of our 2,000 student wait list. 2,787 students is what we educate now with 2,000 on the wait list, so there's more to come. We haven't stopped yet, Henry. And we can't wait to start our next big project is building our Arts and Athletic Performance Center. Again, Senator Martini helped provide the seed money for that, so his name will come up again and again. But that is our next project. It's going to be big, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be a community space that the city of Kenner can use as well as Discovery Schools. And lastly, of course, Super Bowl ring or not, Henry Shane, you are the heart of Discovery Schools. When you walked in and cut your ribbon today, I told the students standing there, this entire school was his idea, and they said, we know Mr. Shane. So he makes his presence known here. This is your creation that you allow me to share in, but my happiest days, and my husband's here so he can attest to this, are when you call me and say, Patty, I have a new piece of artwork. Meet me downstairs. We need to know where to hang it. Patty, I have an idea for a new sculpture. Meet me outside. Let's go see where we want to put it. And our swamp owl and our heart represent Discovery Schools. We love you for it, and thank you.